Bills fans, I wish I had better news for you today. There is breaking news around the NFL surrounding particularly the Buffalo Bills that two players have been suspended for the Bills. Michael Hoect and Larry Ogunjobi have been suspended 6 games for the start of the 2025 season. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. But specifically speaking, the news broke just a couple of minutes ago, and when I say a couple minutes ago, I mean about half an hour to 45 minutes ago. I don't know. Time is a blur for me right now. I'm kind of seeing red. One of the Bills beat reporters tweeted this out. Bills GM Brandon Beane said the new defensive end Michael Hoect and defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi got a notice for a PED violation with a suspension, and both will be out for 6 games to start the 2025 season. They'll be with the team through training camp and then away from the team for 4 weeks. Well, it's good that they get to practice with the team, right? I mean, hey, at least they get to practice with the team. I'm going to gather my thoughts here for a second, but this is why you subscribe. All the Bills breaking news, all the Bills rumors, everything surrounding the Buffalo Bills, we're going to cover here on the Bills Breakdown. And like I said, I wish it was better news today. I really do. But I'm about to tee off because PED violations are something that I take very, very seriously. So let's start with Michael Hoect. We get him in the Rams, or get him from the Rams, I should say. We sign him to a 3-year deal. And this is the very first impression that you're making on your brand new team. This one right here, that you are violating the league's policy. Now, we don't know specifically what exact drug he took. We don't know what performance enhancement that he specifically took. Like, I don't know the actual name of it. But I know that every single player knows what drugs are on the league's violation list. Every single player knows what they can and cannot do, what they can and cannot take. So you mean to tell me that you knew what it was and you violated anyway, or you didn't know and you're just ignorant on the situation? Either way, unacceptable. Especially when you're with a new team. Come on, man. Come on. Now, again, rotational pieces. These guys are not our bread and butter starters. Larry Ogunjobi and Michael Hoect are not the guys that are the make or break of this defense. But we did bring them in free agency for a reason. To add depth to this defense that struggled last year. We look at all the moves that we made. We signed Khalil Shakir. We re-signed Terrell Bernard and Greg Rousseau. We get ahead of Josh Allen's contract. We're doing all the right things to make us successful for 2025. And part of that was bringing these two dudes in to help be rotational pieces. To come in a pinch when someone either A, needs a break or gets injured, God forbid. And this is the first impression that you're making with your brand new team. It's not a good look at all. I'm going to be straight up with you. This is just, you ought to be embarrassed, both of you. Both of these players should be absolutely embarrassed. And again, it's not like this is Greg Rousseau or Terrell Bernard or Ed Oliver, right? We look at this and we say, okay, they're going to be gone for the first few games. They'll rejoin the team. But that means 6 weeks of not getting in playing shape to make an impact on the field. And I don't care what anybody says. Well, they're just rotational players. Rotational players play. They don't play, they don't start, they don't play every snap, but they get in. And let's just say, hypothetically, Greg Rousseau comes out for a play, and Hoyt comes in Game 7 and he's getting burned on the edge because he can't get to the quarterback fast enough because he hasn't been on the field. Like, this is a problem. And Brandon Beane was the one who broke this news. Can you imagine the embarrassment that he feels right now? Hey, we just paid money for these guys. We signed him to contracts. And now we have to announce that within 2 days, 3 days of signing these guys, we have to announce that they're not going to be playing for the first few games. It's just not a good look. And for all of the great moves that we've been praising the Bills for making, these two players come in, and albeit, I'm going to keep using the word rotational players, they have not been stereotypically productive, especially not in 2024. Hoecht had 56 tackles, 4 for loss, 3 sacks, PFF grade of 61. He's a mid-defensive end / linebacker. Larry Ogunjobi's even worse. I mean, statistically speaking. 41 tackles, only 5 for loss, so he's a little bit better against the run, but his PFF grade sucks, and his rank's even worse. So we bring these guys in for a reason. We tell them by giving them these contracts, look, we believe that you can help us out in some capacity. When you get onto the field, do what you do that makes you successful. For Hoecht, it's a little bit more getting after the quarterback over the middle of the field. For Ogunjobi, it's defensive line. Obviously, the Bills need to stop the run to get after the quarterback. We go out, we sign Joey Bosa. So obviously, like I said, we're making the right decisions. And players that abuse the PED policy have no place in football. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Not only are you embarrassing yourselves, but your teammates, your head coach, your GM, your owners. Shame on you. Either get in line with the league's substance abuse policy, their PED policy, or learn about it and then get in line with it. Because either, like I said, either way, you either abused it and you knew about it, or you didn't know about it and you were just ignorant to the situation. And that can be even worse. I'm sorry, man. I apologize if I'm on a tangent here and I'm spinning in circles, but I care about this football team and I care about the success on the field. And on the field success starts with the right preparation off the field. And if you can't do the right things off the field, then you don't deserve to be on the field. I hope there's an apology coming from these two guys. Not only to the media, but to their families, their friends, their teammates, their coaches, their GM. I really hope it happens. But for the most part, hey, man, 6 games. We'll see you back in week 7 if you get back onto the field. That's going to do it for us here on today's episode of the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. Subscribe, like the video, share this with a friend. We are trying to make this the premier destination for all Buffalo Bills content here on YouTube. My name is Moose. Until next time, see you later.